Okay, now for opens still, we can use the same idea here. This current here is 0. I'm gonna make it going up, so the voltage has to be this way. This voltage is 0 because V equals IR and the current is 0. Same thing on I2. I can put that current that way. Voltage here is 0. Same thing on here. Even though R3 is not open, what happens is hopefully you learn in physics Kirchhoff's current law. In this node here C, all the current coming in equals the current coming out. So obviously I2 equals I3, and we know that I2 is 0 because I1 is 0. So 0 therefore is I3, and therefore also V3 is 0. So if I draw it like this, it's all 0. So if I ask you, however, what VF minus VE is, which is my, let's say, Vx, this in principle has a current of 0 because this current I4 is 0. So the current through the 10 volt Ix is 0. So let's start. I4 is 0. So Ix is 0 because of Kirchhoff's current law. So there's node E here. There's Ix coming into it and I4 coming out from it. So because I4 is 0, I can conclude that Ix is 0. And in principle, this D here is open, so I kind of knew that the current was 0. And then I also know that this V4 is 0 because of Ohm's law. But now the question is Vx. So you cannot say that Vx is 0 just because Ix is 0, because Ohm's law doesn't apply here, because this is not a resistor. So this is a battery. So if you put a multimeter here, the black terminal of the multimeter, the ground on this side, and the red terminal of the multimeter on this side of a battery, what happens is that it will show you 10 volts. You can actually do this with the AD2 and the multimeter you have. So what happens is that VF minus VE is Vx, VF minus VE, and in this case it's 10 volts. So this shows that an open you can only guarantee that the current is 0, but you cannot guarantee the voltage. The voltage is a question mark. Now, two other things on this particular part of the circuit. If I had written VE minus Vx, VE minus VF, it would have been the opposite. So it would have been minus 10 volts. And I can explain this in class in case it's not clear. Secondly, if I write what is VF minus VD, it's also 10 volts because the V4 is 0 and Vx is 10. That's all I wanted to say about opens. Now I'm going to make a video about shorts.